All right, strap yourselves in, because today we're going deep.
Deep.
Into some seriously mind-bending territory.
Yeah.
Sunny Jetsun.
Sunny Jetsun.
And specifically, his poetry collection, Peace Goddess, Spirit of the Field, the Intimacy Sutras.
Oh, wow.
And you specifically requested we don't shy away from the, shall we say, more adult and controversial aspect.
Jetsun does not disappoint.
No.
Not at all. This is not your average poetry reading. No, this is a full-on psychedelic experience.
Okay, so first things first.
Yeah.
The format of this book is a little wild. It's designed to work in both print and this unique electronic version.
Right.
That's supposed to flow seamlessly, like a stream of consciousness.
And the content definitely matches that stream of consciousness vibe. It's like he's pulling these images and ideas from the deepest recesses of his subconscious and just throwing them on the page, no filter.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we're talking about lines like Empress's new contipitant having a brainwave right next to a dog with, and I quote, 3 dicks and a bag of poppers. This is definitely R-rated territory.
What's fascinating here is how Jetsun uses these surreal, often shocking images to explore some really profound and sometimes incredibly controversial themes.
Okay, let's talk about the surrealism. It's everywhere in this book.
It's everywhere.
Give us an example of how he weaves this weirdness into his poetry.
Well, take the image of buying a dog a pizza as an expression of love.
Okay.
On the surface, it's absurd, right? But when you dig deeper, there's this unexpected tenderness there, this sense of going above and beyond for someone you care about.
Right. And then he juxtaposes that with something like the devil working inside the Vatican.
Yeah.
It's jarring, but it makes you think, what's he trying to say about the corruption of power, the hypocrisy of organized religion?
Exactly. He's using these surreal juxtapositions to shake us out of our complacency, to make us question everything we think we know.
And then there's the line about Timothy Leary's jeans tripping in space. I mean, what the hell does that even mean?
I think that's the beauty of it.
Okay.
It's open to interpretation.
Okay.
Is it a commentary on the legacy of psychedelics? The search for meaning beyond the confines of our earthly existence? Who knows?
It definitely makes you stop and think, even if you're not entirely sure what you're thinking about.
And that discomfort, that feeling of being challenged, that is crucial to Jetsun's work.
Right.
He wants to push buttons.
Yeah.
To provoke a reaction.
Speaking of pushing buttons, let's talk about the controversial stuff.
Yes. Let's.
He doesn't hold back, does he?
No, he does not.
Especially when it comes to organized religion.
Yeah, he seems to have a particular disdain for the Catholic Church, with images like the crocodile scavenging for God. It's a scathing critique of what he sees as the church's greed and hypocrisy.
And it's not just religion.
No.
He takes aim at the military-industrial complex, political corruption, societal inequalities. Nothing is off limits.
It's all fair game.
Yeah.
And he does it in a way that's both thought-provoking and unsettling. You know, for example, when he talks about politicians taking the piss, it's not just crude humor.
Right.
It's a visceral expression of disgust at the abuse of power.
It's definitely not for the easily offended.
No.
But I think that's part of the point.
I think so, too.
He wants to spark debate, to force us to confront uncomfortable truths.
Right, and I think that's what makes his work so powerful, even if it is at times a bit overwhelming.
We're going to keep digging into this provocative collection, but first we've got to take a quick break. Okay, so we've established that Sunny Jetsun is not afraid to shock and provoke.
No.
But amidst all the surrealism and the controversy, there's another recurring theme that really jumped out at me. His view of women.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost a contradiction considering his critiques of societal power structures.
Right.
But he clearly has this deep reverence for the feminine,
Yeah.
often portraying women in a very romantic, even erotic light.
It's a very complex and fascinating aspect of his work.
Yeah.
On the one hand,
Yeah.
he uses language that is undeniably graphic, bordering on explicit at times.
Right.
Some might find it objectifying, even offensive.
Yeah.
But then you have these passages that celebrate the divine feminine, the idea of women as these powerful creative forces.
Yeah, like when he talks about the Empress's new contipitant having a brainwave.
Right.
It's bold.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little shocking.
Sure.
But he's not just reducing women to their sexuality.
No, no, no.
He's connecting it to intellect, to creativity.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to remember that Jetsun is writing in a very specific cultural context.
Okay.
His work is really steeped in Eastern spiritual traditions.
Right.
Where sexuality and spirituality are often very intertwined.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, some of his descriptions of women are
intense.
Pretty intense.
Yes.
There are definitely lines in here that would make even the most open-minded person blush.
I think that's part of his intention.
Okay.
He wants to challenge our preconceived notions about how we talk about and portray women. He's pushing boundaries, forcing us to confront our own discomfort.
So how does this perspective on women fit into his broader message? Is he advocating for sexual liberation?
I think it's all of those things.
Okay.
And more. He seems to envision a world where the feminine is no longer suppressed or marginalized, but celebrated in all its power and complexity.
Right.
And that includes its sexuality.
It's definitely a provocative and challenging perspective.
Yeah.
And one that's bound to generate a lot of discussion.
For sure.
But that's what makes Jetsun so interesting.
Exactly.
He doesn't give us easy answers. He forces us to wrestle with these complex issues to form our own conclusions.
And that, I think, is the hallmark of a truly great artist.
You mentioned earlier that one poem in particular really resonated with you.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing it with us later on? What is this poem that spoke to you?
So many to choose from, but this one really got to me. And here it is. Eagles rising high above the quack quack.
Okay.
Spread your angel wings, responding to flying, landing and becoming the me again.
Wow. Okay. Break that down for me. What's with the eagles and the quack quack?
For me, it's about transcendence, you know?
Right.
That duality of our existence.
Okay.
The eagle soaring above the mundane, the quack-quack of everyday life, right?
Yeah.
Represents that yearning for something higher, something beyond ourselves.
Right. That desire to escape all the BS, find some kind of spiritual enlightenment.
Exactly. But then there's the landing.
Yeah.
The return to earth, to the me again.
Okay.
It suggests that true fulfillment isn't found in some otherworldly realm, but in embracing both the spiritual and the material, the transcendent and the grounded.
It's like he's saying, yeah, the world's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But there's still magic to be found in it.
Absolutely. And maybe that's the key to Jetsun's work.
Okay.
Finding that balance. That middle path between cynicism and hope, darkness and light.
So after spending all this time with Sunny Jetsun and his wild, provocative poetry, what's the one thing you're going to take away from this deep dive?
For me, it's that reminder that art can be a powerful tool for shaking up our perspectives, for challenging our assumptions, for helping us see the world in new and unexpected ways.
And it's not always comfortable, and it's certainly not always pretty.
No.
But sometimes that's what we need
Yeah.
to wake us up, to get us thinking.
Absolutely.
And maybe even to inspire us to create something beautiful ourselves.
And I think Sunny Jetsun, with all his contradictions and complexities, does exactly that. He throws everything at us, the sublime, the profane, the erotic, the spiritual.
Yeah.
And somehow it all works.
Definitely leaves you wanting more. So to our listeners out there, we encourage you to seek out Peace, Goddess Spirit of the field, the Intimacy Sutras.
Yeah.
And form your own opinions about Sunny Jetsun's unique style and thought-provoking themes.
Yeah, this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning.
It is.
It's a jumping off point for your own exploration.
Keep questioning, keep connecting the dots, and keep diving deep.
Keep diving.
I'll see you next time
See you later.
on The Deep Dive.